All right, welcome back. So in this quick tutorial, we're going to show you how to set up a live auction item that people can participate with at their homes without being in attendance. To do this, I'm going to go to Items, Manage Items, and then I'm going to click Add Item. I'm going to call this a sample live item. And I am going to come down here to Item Type. I'm going to choose Live. And then there is an option here called Allow EventStream Bids. If you don't see this, then what you want to do is talk to your account manager to make sure that this feature is enabled. If it's available here, then all you got to do is choose Yes. And let's go ahead and set a starting bid. Now the starting bid is the bid that the auctioneer is going to kick off with. So I'm going to say they'll start at $500 and your auctioneer is going to do $200 increments. All right, maybe the fair market value is, $3,500. You also want to set a closing time and you can set the status to active and so on. But for this example, we'll just go with $3,500 market value, $500 starting bid, $200 increment, live item type, and allow EventStream bids equal to yes. Perfect. When you're done with that, and you are at the event running your broadcast. In the previous video, I showed you how to set up a camera very, very easily. I'm going to go to Event Central and Butler. Now the Butler tool is what we would have volunteers, or if you have staff that are using that you've hired to be at the event, they're going to use the Butler tool to check people in, check people out, add bids, and so on. In addition, they're also going to run the live auction. Now, I still have my live stream going from earlier when I did my tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate what this looks like. I have my web camera right here. It's broadcasting. It's my Windows Surface computer. So I have it broadcasting on that link that I sent you in the previous video. And then I have my actual live broadcast. So this phone is what somebody would see if they were at home. They can swipe up and down. They can participate in the silent auction while the live feed is running. Great thing about the live feed is that you can start broadcasting when the program starts. So not during dinner or the pre-event VIP reception, really just when the program is running. Now, as the volunteer in the room, I've got a blank bidder paddle. Doesn't have a number on it. It's just a blank, or it's just, 999 or some, really big number. And then I'm going to have that sitting on my table. And then I'm going to click on Manage Event Stream. Now I have my sample live item listed here in the unsold. Well, that's great because we haven't actually done the live auction yet. What the auctioneer is going to do is get up on stage. They're going to start talking about the item, try to really get people excited about it, and then they're going to start accepting bids. So this is what your in-person volunteer or staff member is going to do. Remember, they have their paddle here that they're going to hold up when they see a live bid come in from home, and they're going to run this screen so that people at home have an accurate number that they can place bids on. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to press sample live item, and that is going to kick off a pop-up screen, and then it tells me press start to start accepting bids. Now, at home, what's happened? On my screen, I have a bid live button. I'm going to press bid live, and now it tells me that I have a sample live item. If I had put details and a picture, they would be listed there. But nothing is letting me bid right now. It says this item is not currently accepting bids. That's because as the volunteer, I need to start allowing people from home to bid. Now remember, we're receiving bids in the room. We're also receiving bids from home. So when the auctioneer says, all right, who's going to give me $500? And I press start. And now it says your item is now available for bids. So what magically happened at home is now I have a bid button for $500. So I see that bid, the auctioneer, who's going to give me 500, 500, who's going to give me 500? Somebody in the room raises a paddle. Oh, well, now we've got $500. So I'm going to log as the volunteer in-person bid. And you can see here now that that 500 bid is there. And now the next bid is 700. Okay, 700, who's going to give me 700, 700? And then I see at home the button updated. And I say, I'll do 700. And I say yes. And now, Matt Burnell has placed a $700 bid, and I grab that paddle and I wave it in the air. So the auctioneer sees that 999 or whatever paddle up in the air, and they say, "Oh my gosh, hey, we got a bid from home. Somebody gave us $700. Who's going to do that? Who's gonna help us out for the next amount?" All right, somebody else bids $900 in the room, and I log that as an in-person bid, because remember, I now have to get a dollar amount of $1,100, and you can see here it says you have been outbid. Now the next bid is $1,100. Boom! I press $1,100. And now I'm in the room. I see that come in, and I go, "Oh, raise my paddle again." When the auction gets to the end, somebody's going to be the top bidder. It's either going to be, let's say, an in-person bid at $1,300. Oh, we got another one in the room at $1,300. We got another one at $1,500, $1,700. And now the person at home is like, "You know what? I'm out. I'm not going to keep bidding." But you can see my button still lets me. My button says $1,900. And it also has a confirmation so that I don't accidentally fire off a bid. So I'm going to hit cancel. And now when the auction is ready to close, I need to turn this button off on everybody's phone at home. So to do that, the auctioneer says going once, going twice, sold. And now that auction item is closed. I get the frowny face that says you did not win this item. I can press close. Notice that that live item came off my list. If there were any more, I could go ahead and press those to activate them. Typically there's 5 to 7, depending on the organization. We've seen upwards of 40 live auction items. It can get pretty aggressive. But that is how you help people be engaged at home. We've seen people from home either win live auction items, or they've caused the organization to sell a live item twice, which is great. Now, quickly, at home, I see here that I didn't win this item, and the auctioneer says, "Folks, now what we want to do, we want to raise $25,000 in the fund of need. We're going to show you a really awesome video that was produced by the students of the school, and then we're going to start raising paddles to give to the scholarship program." And then they play the video. Now at home, I'm watching this. Very cool, watching. And when it comes time to do the donation, I press donation items. Remember, I'm the volunteer in the room, and I see that there's a live ask tuition assistance. So I'm going to go ahead and press live ask, and that brings up all of the donations that are coming in. And I have increments of $100, $50, $25, $10, and other. Now, at home, I can turn off the other button, and at home, I'm going to start with $100. The auctioneer says, "Who's going to give me $100? Everybody put your paddle in the air for $100. You can see at home, my screen automatically changed. I didn't do anything. It changed from the live auction, the item I didn't win, and it jumped to the ask for $100. I can go ahead and press that. I'm going to press it. I'm going to say yes. And now what will happen? Boom, there's my $100. It showed up. If you're running an appeal display, which you can learn about in one of our other tutorials, that name will automatically show up on the screen in the room. So it's automatic. People from home are giving, and their name is showing up in real time. That's how we bring all of this together. The average donation in ClickBit is about $500. So if a handful of people give who aren't in attendance, that's $1,500, $2,500, $3,000 that has come into your organization by people who wish they could have been there, but they just couldn't be there. So when you're done with 100, you can move on to $50, and you'll notice on my phone, my button has automatically changed. That volunteer in the room is automatically controlling what's available to everybody who participates from home. If I want to turn on the $10, I can press 10. Notice I didn't turn off the 50. Now I have a 50 and a 10. Well, we're going to go down to $10. So I'm going to get rid of the $50 button, and I want to do other. You know what, folks? If we came up with an increment that didn't quite match what you wanted to give, and you want to put any amount you want, go ahead and type it into the other box and submit that donation. And I think, okay, perfect. I'm going to give $123. And I say yes, and then sure enough, boom, $123, Matt Burnell, and I see my name on the screen. When I'm done, I go ahead as the volunteer, press close, and I press OK. And now you'll notice that that screen will go away in a moment. Anybody at home will continue to watch the broadcast until we stop broadcasting, but the pop-up box that focused our attention on the fund a need or the live auction will disappear, and then you can see here, I'm back to the live or the silent auction, and I can swipe and I can bid. I can also check out from my phone and make my payment. All right, there you have it. That's exactly how you use EventStream. Hope this was really helpful, and please let us know if you have any questions.